Hello Internet, my name is ZemosHD. Today we're going to go back to a channel favorite, of course, Sinatra Says. In this video, he discusses why not shaving your body hair is somehow a problem because women don't want to shave. Apparently, you're a disgusting, vile bitch if you don't. Okay, he doesn't say that exactly, but he says a lot of stuff that pretty much implies that, like you're lazy and you won't get a man. Okay. He unironically literally said that. You know what, let's just get into the video though.
And it did a pretty good job. We have been covering some pretty serious stuff on this channel, so we're going to have a little bit of a break. We're going to have a little bit of a respite and enjoy something that we can all have a pretty good laugh at. And what's funnier than feminists or women, either or, figuring out that they can do something that literally nobody asked them to do, and it somehow is empowering to their soul. Women are funny, what can I say? Let's take a look at this mess.
So Sinatra's idea of, just calming down, chilling, just having some fun times is making fun of women discussing shaving their body hair.
I spent 45 minutes completely shaving my body. I was like a seal, or a hairless mole rat.
You spent 45 minutes completely shaving your body to look like a hairless mole rat, or as most people call them, naked mole rats. But I think the important bit there is you spent 45 minutes shaving your body. What were you, a Sasquatch? Did you have to shave through a jungle? I mean, the answer's probably yeah.
Now, I want you to pay special attention to this part. Listen very closely to what he says.
And I remember sitting at home going, what did I do all of this for? What was the point of all this?
I don't know. Why don't you tell us? Are we supposed to just know why you went manic and shaved your whole body for 45 minutes?
Body hair. We all have it. On our pits, on our legs, on our faces.
Yes, that is true, but most women have the common decency to, tame it. And that thing at the end with the beard. Grow a better beard than most men I know.
So yeah, right there, you just got confirmation from Sinatra Says here. If you don't shave your body hair and you're a woman, you're not decent. You're disgusting. So there we go. He just demonizes women for not shaving their body hair. Yeah.
It's everywhere. Body hair can be a political, sexual, or social tool.
Social, maybe. Political, fucking... How is not taking care of yourself a political tool? I don't know. I'm talking to the party of lazy people, so I don't expect any sense out of it. And sexual statement, all right, I'm sure some weirdo out there is definitely into that, but okay. Whatever you need to tell yourself.
Look, I know we keep stopping pretty early before we get into the meat of the video, but I'm always amazed at how conservatives manage to contradict themselves in so many ways. It's like twisting a pretzel knot. As you'll see it later down in the video, he contradicts this very statement, by which I mean body hair not having any sexual statement.
For millennial women, it can be hard to know what to do with it.
You buy a razor and you shave that shit off. That's what you do with it.
Is it anti-feminist to shave our body hair to fit patriarchal standards of beauty?
Well, it's all kind of up to you, isn't it? Nobody's gonna make you shave it, and men aren't gonna make fun of you for it, at least not to your face. Women are fucking horrible and will probably make you cry if they ever see it. So it's up to you.
What?
Something I've noticed about reactionaries is they're always 2 steps close to the answer. Yes, it's true. Women do make fun of other women more. Wanna know why? It's because of the same gender stereotypes that you force onto women. Like, how women are lazy and, aren't decent if they don't shave. So thanks, Sinatra, for reinforcing this and making other women feel like shit.
What if we just like the feeling of a smooth, hairless leg? What is influencing the choices we make about ourselves?
You just said a patriarchal society. Now is it all of a sudden not that? Pick one.
So she's asking 2 different questions here. Is it anti-feminist to shave your hair due to patriarchal standards of beauty? And what makes us shave our hair in the first place? These are 2 completely separate questions that do not contradict each other.
Well, it's complicated.
Very insightful, Tim Pool. I appreciate it.
Well, when we make a decision about whether we shave or not, we're definitely making a statement. We can look at different centuries.
She's a professor of history using history to decide if she wants to shave or not? Okay.
Across time and see that hair was always a part of the conversation.
Yeah, but here is the absolutely fucking insane thing. They're talking about hair on the head, not how hairy pits or hairy legs is some sort of political statement for millennials. So you're being a little dishonest there, don't you think?
Sinatra Says arguing against another black expert in their field. We all know how that went last time.
Whether it was hair on women's head, the length of that hair, with this idea being that women should have long hair because it was expression of femininity and beauty.
Notice how she used old black and white photos and hieroglyphs and all pretty old shit to talk about hair on the head and how it's always changing. Styles are always different about it. Then we go to this.
To conversations around their underarm hair and also the hair that covers their genitals.
So, no, those aren't a thing in history. They're a thing happening right now. Before, in history and the hieroglyphs and all that, we don't know what they did with their underarm or pube hair. We know that they had long hair or had different hairstyles, but there are no hieroglyphs or old black and white pictures of women shaving their crotch, so we're just going to assume that they had it, and that it wasn't a political, cultural, or sexual statement. It was just a thing.
I guess my real question here is like, why is he so content with being wrong all the time?
I just closed my butt cheeks and it got the cream inside my butthole.
God, look, a funny woman.
We can't have a conversation about beauty culture, body hair, without talking about capitalism.
No. We can. We are able to disassociate people's personal choice on how they groom and capitalism. We're able to do that. You, for some reason, Miss Professor, are not.
So, I'm not some big, commie, social, libcuck, whatever the fuck buzzword you want to use, but capitalism is very important to this discussion, because a lot of the reasons why women started shaving more was because of marketing and ads in, like, the 1920s and shit. Of course, I'm not just saying this is backed by data, you know, like a historian would collect, and an uneducated person would laugh at them for collecting.
Especially in the late 20th and early 21st centuries, because the beauty industry seems to have expanded.
So what you're really saying there is people had ads for razors and women chose whether or not they wanted to buy it. Okay. I must have missed Grandma's old story of a constable coming up to the door with his little budgeting club and going, "You better get that razor, see? I don't want to see no more hairy pits, you see?" Yeah, that never happened, but alright.
So, does this guy, like, ever give out a charitable interpretation of other people's arguments, or does he just, like, constantly lie and misinterpret people on purpose? I mean, it's supported by the data. To even suggest that marketing played no role and it was all just women's choices to start shaving is ridiculous, ahistorical, and just factually inaccurate.
We are inundated with ads about our hair and our makeup. Misogyny is all over this conversation because
I would love to hear the reasoning behind thinking that misogyny is behind women shaving or not shaving.
I don't know, maybe saying that women who don't shave aren't decent and calling them lazy, maybe that's misogynist or something.
I want to hear the absolute mental gymnastics that are going on here.
ad agencies were founded by men.
Well, you work for a school system that was invented by a man, you're on the internet that was invented by men, and you're in front of a camera that was invented by a man. So you saying that men invented ads, it's kind of all moot, isn't it? When things are bad for you, men invented them. But men invent things that personally benefit you. We don't talk about that.
So wait, how does mentioning that men created marketing towards women that made them shave, how is that made mute by saying that men created other stuff too? How? I don't get it. And the funny part is this guy constantly uses the insult of people using mental gymnastics. Oh boy. And yet look at this shit. Are you serious? Oh, men use marketing tricks to manipulate women to shave. Well, men made internet, so men good now. Like, seriously? Come on, man. Quick question though, Sinatra. Do you like space? Did you like when we went to space? Do you know who made that possible with her mathematic calculations? A woman. Do you like laser eye surgery that can remove your cataracts? Do you like that? Because you know who made that possible? A woman. But hey, women don't contribute anything. At least that's the implicit argument here, but let's continue.
When products were being put forth to American consumers, it was men behind the scenes who were shaping what those ads should look like.
So that's what we're going with, huh? You're literally going to blame men for women wanting to be hairless? Seems like a stretch, but I've definitely heard worse. And I think you can come up with worse.
So in a sense, that means that men have shaped the messages that we are given about our bodies and what's attractive, what's beautiful, what's sexy.
See, I knew you could do it. I knew you could come up with something much, much more stupid. And there it is. Men do not decide what's sexy. Men decide what they like. Women decide. And I know this is crazy for a liberal in the current year to believe that women have their own bodily autonomy. They decide what they do with their body. Fucking nuts, right?
I mean, wow. That was so off the cuff, like not even a point that I don't even... how do I respond to that? And you know what's the worst part? He literally conceded the point. Men choose what's sexy because men choose what they like about women. That's the point. And remember, this goes both ways. The difference is that men have more power in society, so,
What's classy? What's respectable?
Companies are trying to profit off of our bodies.
Aren't you people supposedly pro-sex worker, which is literally profiting off of just the bodies? But, that's a hate fact, I'm sure.
You know what this is? This is like throwing anything at the wall and hoping it sticks. Every time he says something, it's like, hopefully this sounds like an argument. Hopefully this sounds like I'm actually saying something of worth. Jesus Christ. Someone get me a goddamn hazmat suit for all the cringe. I feel the cancer growing in my brain. And the tumor is still bigger than this brainlet. Jesus Christ. I mean, the fact that he compared prostitution to the idea that women's bodies are being profited off of because of their insecurities over their body hair. Jesus Christ. What a fucking shit show this man is. Holy Christ. Jesus, he must have been dropped on his head like during the fucking birth. Like his mom probably tripped while doing like skateboard tricks and drinking alcohol while smoking a pack of menthols or something. Like, Jesus Christ.
If we don't think something's a problem, we're not going to spend money to fix it.
Is that constable harassing you too? Just tell him that it's the current year and you don't want to shave. He would leave you alone. Oh, that's not happening? Nobody's forcing you to do it? Then shut the fuck up.
Yeah, that's right, women. If you're complaining because society expects you to do something that you don't want to do, but it's not literally forcing a gun up to your head, shut the fuck up, you stupid fucking bitches. We gave you the right to vote. What you complaining about? What's next? You want to be treated like we're equal? Stupid fucking bitch.
At the end of the day, if you think your body hair is okay, you're not going to spend $5,000 a year on razors, on shaving cream, on laser hair removal, on all of these other things.
I can promise you, from here to the moon and back, nobody who really doesn't care about body hair is spending $5,000 a year to get rid of it. And even if they do care, They're not getting laser hair removal, and they're not spending $5,000 on fucking razors to do it either. That is just not a thing.
They're learning at a young age that they will always be police.
Where are these body hair constables that are going around harassing women for not shaving? Can you produce one piece of evidence that this is happening? You can't, because it doesn't.
So society's not going to make fun of them. Women aren't going to make fun of them. And you're not going to make fun of them anymore for not shaving their body hair. Wow, it's a miracle.
I was speaking at a workshop and I had a teenage girl come up to me and she started crying, thanking me for not shaving my legs and for talking about body hair because she...
You're wrong. Not this time. It never happened.
Okay. Okay, that was legitimately a good edit. Okay, that was funny.
That never happened. That is a thing that has never happened. I'll take shit that never happened for 500, Alex. You're just making this up.
She had body hair on her upper lip and she was getting bullied for it.
It's not called body hair when it's on the upper lip. That's called a mustache and facial hair. But go off, King.
And so we think we have to pay thousands of dollars.
Literally nobody. 0 people in the United States are spending thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars a year on razors. Nobody does that.
To adhere to this beauty standard that only exists to profit off of your insecurity.
Well, it's not really an insecurity if you're okay with it, is it? Insecurity is something that women have about this issue if they're not okay with it. If they are okay with it, it's not an insecurity.
Well, so it might be an insecurity that they would otherwise be fine with if it weren't that they were ridiculed because they had body hair. You know, like you've been doing this entire video.
I was trying to be a fashion blogger when I moved to New York. I was photoshopping my photos.
Yeah, go ahead. Try to convince women to stop using Photoshop. Let me know how that goes.
Photoshopping out body hair. I was photoshopping acne, skin, weight, all of these things.
And who were you doing that for? Who asked you to do that? You were doing it for other women because they are the most brutal people on the internet.
Again, it's because they're reinforcing stereotypes that people like you like to put in place.
What was happening is people were commenting under my photos saying, oh my gosh, ideal body. Oh my gosh, you're perfect. You're flawless.
What a fucking humble brag. Holy shit.
But I wasn't. I was an imperfect human being just like all of us. So I felt I could not be myself.
Is anybody else getting that feeling that this woman's ego is way too big for what it should be? I think she's a little bit full of herself.
I had to be a photoshopped, an altered, perfect image that I was, putting forth to people. But
if you're not worried about what other people think about you and you're okay with letting just the body exist as it does, why are your eyebrows like that?
Oh, so wait, now it's not just completely 100 trillion% choice? Now women make choices based on what society might think of them? Wow. Wow, who knew that Sinatra Says was such an SJW libcuck?
Also, I was causing other people who were viewing my photos, I was causing them to hate their bodies as well.
So you really just took one for the team, didn't you? You stopped photoshopping your pictures because you just looked way too good, so other women will feel better about themselves. Ah, so noble. So noble.
And here, kids, we have another wonderful example of deliberately missing the point.
But I had a date and I had seen this person a couple times and I thought that we were going to end up going home together.
All right, so I did kind of call it in the beginning. You thought you were going to get laid, so you went through all of this trouble. Now let's see what happened.
I spent 45 minutes completely shaving my body. What happened was the guy ended up being a jerk.
I thought you knew him. You just said you've went out with him a few times. Now all of a sudden he's a jerk? Or was it you were too busy talking about yourself, so he became uninterested?
Well, I mean, that assumes that she ruined the date and not the guy. I mean, we can't know that, but I guess if you just lie about what a woman means when she says that photoshopping her pictures made her look pretty and that she didn't like it because she felt fake, as her being overly narcissistic, sure.
And we had this really trash date. And I remember sitting at home going, what did I do all of this for? What was the point of all this?
You just said the point was to get laid. You knew what the point was, but it didn't work out the way you wanted it to, so fuck it, let all the hair grow? Yeesh, you're gonna be single for a while.
Oof, a nice little misogynistic joke at the end there. How perfect.
I can't think of a moment in history
I am shocked. Shocked. Well, not that shocked.
that I've studied where women's bodies weren't policed.
Nobody gives a shit what you do with your body, I promise.
Yes, that is true, but most women have the common decency to, I don't know, tame it? She'll maybe. Political fucking... How is not taking care of yourself a political tool? I don't know, I'm talking to the party of lazy people, so I don't expect any sense out of it. And sexual statement, alright, I'm sure some weirdo out there is definitely into that, but okay? Whatever you need to tell yourself.
It can be hard to know what to do with it.
You buy a razor, and you shave that shit off. That's what you do with it.
This for? What was the point of all this?
You just said the point was to get laid. You knew what the point was, but it didn't work out the way you wanted it to, so fuck it, let all the hair grow? Yeesh, you're gonna be single for a while.
I can't think of a...
In fact, that's the way that a patriarchal society is set up.
So a patriarchal society is set up just for the sole reason of policing women's bodies. You are smart, aren't you?
Nice, another intentional misinterpretation of what she's saying. But a great example of the moral authority part of patriarchy is, for example, I don't know, maybe calling people, what's the word? Lazy for not shaving.
It's all about men having the power to police the bodies of women. And an unfortunate byproduct of that is that oftentimes women internalize that misogyny and that patriarchy, and they therefore then start to police other women's bodies as well as their own bodies.
That was a really, really long and unnecessary way of saying that women are horrible to other women because of men. Is there anything that men can't get women to do? Like, you act like women have zero autonomy over their own life, but you somehow are woke enough to figure it out. Mm-hmm.
I've found that it comes down to a personal choice. What kind of choice do I and other women and other non-binary femmes want to make about what our body hair looks like for us, what we want it to look like, what it means to us?
Except if a woman chooses to be pretty and shave it. Nobody gives a shit what you do with your body, I promise.
Liar, liar, plants for hire.
Then all of a sudden they are internalizing misogyny and something else, whatever you just said. They're bad if they do that, but it's their choice. But don't choose that one.
So we have a lot of work to do. I would never say that we don't. It's women saying that we have the right to show up as exactly who we are, exactly the way that we want to be. And if that means I want to have a ton of body hair or very little body hair, it's my body, it's my choice.
That whole video, that whole gish galloping word salad video was all let up for just that one sentence. I guarantee it. It's my body, it's my choice. Okay, sure thing, Karen. What I really think this is all about is you wanting to be lazy, not wanting to take care of yourself, and kind of pressuring people to accept it. And if they don't, they are forcing you to do something that you don't want to do. God, life must be really good if this is all you have to complain about. But who am I? Just another straight white male, just another enemy. But I'm just sharing my opinion, just like you.
Finally, we're done. Jesus Christ, I felt like it was gonna go on forever. So, yeah, Sinatra, you're dumb as fuck. If you ever want to debate about anything, you can. I doubt you'll ever see this video in your life. But, I mean, you know, listen, guys, just like, comment, and subscribe. Leave me a nasty comment if you didn't like it. Whatever the fuck, I'm done.
Nobody gives a shit what you do with your body, I promise.